Awaken ones, stop where you are and stay still, because God gave me an important message and God's going to use me to send it to you. So just understand, a lot of people are woke, but they haven't got out of bed yet. And I give that to my homeboy because he made that quote up. And I highly believe that. So watch this video to the very end, because not only are you going to want to jump out of bed and be one with your divinity, but you're going to really realize how to really turn hate into love, into seeing divine in everything of life. God has a message personally for you, for us, and even for me. So let's get right into it. Awaken ones, what is going on? I am so blissed out right now, and I haven't had breakfast yet. But, oh man, awaken ones. I'm gonna be real honest with you. I received a message the other day, and I know it was from God. And I actually received it right after my homeboy made this quote, and it really hit me home. And he said, "A lot of people are woke, Britt, but a lot of people haven't got out of bed yet." So in today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you how not only do you want to get out of bed, but how you're really going to turn all that hate that you learn and turn it into love and seeing divinity within everything, including yourself. And usually what I'm trying to say is how you're going to learn how to see through the eyes of God today for the rest of your existence, so you can live in such pure balance, harmony, and nothing but peace that we all deserve. But welcome back to another episode on A Love of Wisdom. With this short series I'm calling Deep Thoughts with Brittany. On this channel I speak about metaphysical, spirituality, self-development content, esoteric content, and a lot of things that humans do not want to talk about, I talk about on this channel, including law of attraction. But welcome back to another episode. If you've been following me so far, I'm so grateful for you. My goal here is to start Awaken One's community where we all come together and we all share our darkest moments and how we seeked our own light. But if you're already watching me, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brittany Fontanez. What I do is I assist people in awakening to their power so they can find their infinite love within. But lastly, if you're already watching this video, smack that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified of when I post videos, which is 3 times out the week. And lastly, follow me on Instagram as I post daily for your betterment and upliftment, so we can all walk on our spiritual journey with more enlightenment and unconditional love for who we were and for who we're meant to be. So, awaken ones. I'm going to be real with you. Let me share with you my story so we can get right into why I dove so deep into receiving this message that God gave to me. Awaken ones. The reason why I call myself Awaken Ones, the reason why I have it on my Instagram and my YouTube, is because my goal is to allow people who have awakened to the darkest parts of themselves and awaken their own light within to find the way out their own darkness. And how I came up with that is that I've been through nothing but darkness all my life. All I ever knew was my demons, and all I ever saw in the mirror was the devil to myself. And because of that, it all led from, I had been raped, I had been physically abused, I had been verbally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually abused. I've been bullied all my life, been criticized by my own parents and my family, been traumatically hurt, made fun of. Anything you could think of darkness, it led me to the most creepiest, most darkest, most demonic places of my mind. I could be real honest with you. And because of that, for all these years, I walked around feeling worthless, feeling like, damn, I'm really a mistake. And I actually did find out when I was 17 that I was supposed to be aborted. And my aunt forced my mom to have me. And at that moment, she felt proud of herself for doing that. But at that moment, I felt more worthless. I felt really completely misunderstood. I always been dictated, always been told what to do. I've always been bashed on so hard because I love so much and I'm so excited about life. Like, I have a childlike personality, but I allow my inner child to express divinity, to assist me in seeing what God sees. And a lot of people think I walk around aloof, but I started to realize that I shine so bright that the darkness can't stand my light, but misery does love company. And I had to realize that at a very, very young, deep age. And I'm only 25, but I feel like I'm 65 with it. Because the way I have learned to grow and elevate within my own self has made a mind frame that I can't be like anyone else. I can't see how everyone else sees. I can only see what my heart speaks. And, you know, I've actually tried to commit suicide like 3 times in my life. And actually, right after all those times, the third time I tried to commit suicide, that's when I had my spiritual awakening. And you guys, I'll admit, it was very supernatural. It was so supernatural because the night that I was going to try to kill myself for one last time completely, my guardian angel had to come save me. To the point I had to fall on my knees and just cry and just cry. And I know a lot of you thinking crying is bad, but I'll be honest with you, crying is cleansing. Crying is letting go. That's why it's water. Water is cleansing. So, and the next morning, I woke up and I literally had a purple floating eye in front of me. I couldn't understand what was going on. But to this day, I completely know now. I think it was my third eye just looking at me. And let me take off these glasses, actually. But now I've come to really understand, since I've been really going in depth in my spirituality, and now I could get in tune with high divine spiritual beings. Now I could really get in tune with light beings, the celestial, my council, the ascended masters. I can really call upon archangels, all these high divine spiritual beings that assist God. I can call upon them now because of how much I've adapted and ascended in my spiritual awakening. Ever since that moment, you guys, I did whatever I can to heal myself. I did whatever I can to learn what happened to me. And you guys, understand, when you're shifting from one belief to another, it's a completely different paradigm, to the point that physically your construct from what has been built from that very belief and that self-image that you believed in for so long has to dismantle itself when you're starting to transform in your spiritual awakening. And a lot of things can leave your life. But here's the thing, when you lose things, you can't lose what's divinely meant for you. So when things leave out your life, that just means it's not good for you, for where you're headed. And I had to learn that. Especially, I had to lose a lot of family members. I had to lose a parent. I had to let go of a lot of things that didn't serve me anymore in order for me to heal. And I'm still in the process of healing, because spiritual awakening is about you understanding yourself. And there's so much about ourselves that we don't fully understand yet, and it will take a lifetime to. But what I'm trying to get to is that everything that I've learned from my past that's really brought me to the darkest parts of myself led me to one moment in my life where, I lost my apartment, I lost my girlfriend, I lost my job, I lost my friend, I lost everything completely. And I literally had to ask God one last time, why do you have me here? And so that's when God told me. God's like, listen, I know you're unhappy. This is not the message I received. This was like years ago. My inner voice told me, you know you're unhappy. You know you deserve the best. You know you're worthy of more. You know this. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to make a YouTube video every day explaining your story, explaining how you cope with it, explaining how you process into your spiritual awakening and in your spirituality, period. You guys, that was 2 years ago. Actually, no. Yeah, that was 2 years ago. And then in the middle of last year, that's when it really clicked to me, to start my business, to really go hard on YouTube, to really express the reasoning of why I do what I do today. And that's what I want to get into today, is that everything that I went through in my life that's led me to this very moment that made me so resilient is that I turned all that hatred into love. And I know, you guys, it's so easy to hate. When we blame and point the finger at something, or just blame something, that's just coming from the hatred within us of hating ourselves, because we just don't want to take responsibility of how we feel. So we rather just display it and express it in manners that are so dysfunctional, so immature, so arrogant, and so demonic. I see hatred as demonic. I see hatred just another form of fear. And the way that I've been able to turn all of that I've been through, like even having to lose my parent, having my parent literally use the Bible against me and say, you have a missing hole in your heart and only God could fill that. And that's very true. Only divine could really fill you completely. But to have one of my parents just tell me, you know, God can't help you if you're gay. Yes, you guys, I'm lesbian. Fully proud, fully happy of that. And just to have that parent say that made me really awaken to how worthy I am of being who I am and expressing my message and my love. And so the way that I turned all that hatred into love, you guys, is by realizing that I am worthy of being here. And how do you realize you know you're worthy of being here? Because think about this. Everything that we witness on this planet is fucking magical. How is a cloud a cloud? Why is the sky blue? How does a bird fly? How are we tiny little sperms and turn into a huge ass human form? How? Guys, that's magical as fuck. So let's get more in depth into that. If God created all of this, God thought the world needed one of you. We need to stop looking at how the conditions determine and see us. And we need to stop thinking and seeing the conditions and defining ourselves by that, defining our worth by that, because that's not where our worth lies. Our worth lies is in our self-image, and our self-image is rooted in the bedding of our own soul, and our own soul is our temple, and the temple is where God lives. God lives within you. If God thought the world needed one of you, God knows you're worthy. God knows you deserve the best. God wants you to fucking win. God loves you so much. I had to understand this at a very, very deep level in order to really learn to forgive everything that I've been through. And because of this understanding, the message that I received the other day that I want to share with you guys is that no matter what you see in your physical world, it's just a construct of how you see yourself. So if you don't see beauty within anything, that means you don't see beauty within yourself. If you complain about everything and everyone, that means you're just complaining about your own existence. If you're annoyed by what other people do, you're just annoyed by your own triggers and you haven't dealt with them yet. This world is very paradoxical. This universe, I would have to say, is very paradoxical. It's a state of reciprocation. What you put out is what you get back. So the way to really turn hate into love is by realizing hate is just the essence of what we were taught to believe in. It was a lesson that we learned. It was something that was taught to us. It's not us. It's not a part of who we are. We hate because we see everyone else doing it, and that's how they cope with their bullshit. When we could awaken to our own bullshit, like I did, I awakened to my bullshit. I was tired of the drinking. I was tired of being like my parents. I was tired of listening to everyone else and being dictated. I saw my bullshit, and I was tired of that shit. When you can realize your own bullshit, that's when you could really step into your worth. That's when you could really step into your power and awaken completely and say, not only do I have control over my life, but I have mastered who I am. And I don't mean mastered as in like you control absolutely everything. What I mean by master is that you love yourself so wholeheartedly, so unconditionally, so completely that you trust not only that divine will manifest what you need and what you want, but you trust the fact that you're worthy of it all. You guys, worth means everything if you want to believe in yourself and actually embody the fact that you deserve the best. Worth is everything, but worth only stems from love. But we can't love if we have so much hate in our hearts. We have so many coated layers of cement on our heart that keep us hardened. It's time to break that veil. It's time to break your heart completely. Go within the cracks of those broken pieces and seek your light. We're too much in the mind, and the mind is not designed to help us feel happiness. That's why we have the heart, and the heart is so much more powerful. It produces 25,000 neurons, and it could operate a fucking car engine. That's how powerful this is. And without the heart, the mind can't operate. And think about this, when we're born, the first thing that's created, a lot of people don't know this, the first thing that is formed when the baby is created in the womb is the heart. The heart is the first thing that's ever fucking created within the womb in order to create who we are. When we could go back to the original roots of our true nature, of our true divinity that's in the heart, you guys, you will seek love. A lot of us are seeking things on the outside of us to determine how we feel about ourselves and our worth. But you guys, we're seeking answers in the wrong place because the answers are within. This is the temple. Your mind is the palace. But your heart is the key. That's it. Your heart is the key. So what I really wanted to convey to you is that wake up and see that you are divinely loved and divinely guided and divinely blessed. Not only with your materialistic possessions, but with yourself. You are divinely blessed by being who you are. You are divinely blessed as you are. We're so perfect in God's eyes to the point our imperfections are perfect in God's eyes. But how can you see divinity in everything of life? Once you realize your worth. Because when you realize your worth, you realize you love yourself. When you love yourself, you can't hate anything anymore. But how can you see the divinity in everything? By realizing, like I do, for example, I'm a goddess. I'm a queen. I have my own crown. Think about it. All the chakras, the last chakra is our crown chakra. Think about that. We're all gods and goddesses. I'm a goddess. When you can see your divinity and live in that love and live in that light, you have no choice but to see that in everything else. And here's the beautiful thing. When you see that in yourself, you're gonna want to see that in everything. You guys, I am so happy, not because everything is good in my life. There is a lot of shit I'm still dealing with, just to be real honest with you. There's a lot of shit in my mind I'm still dealing with and cleaning up. There's a lot of things I'm still learning to let go of. But I'm so happy, not because things in life are good. It's because I choose to see the good in everything of life. When you give yourself permission to really step in your authority and really see God eye to eye and say, God, I'm here. I'm choosing and deciding now that I want to be in my power, but not power in overtaking my material world, but in the power of realizing I have the power to transform myself and to see beyond the veil of the physical and just be that one with you. To be that light, to shine so bright that nothing can touch me, but I can heal everything because I've healed myself. It takes a lot of power, a lot of love, a lot of compassion to be real with yourself and honest and open while you're going through the cracks of your own heart. But it's so worth the adventure. Life is an adventure of discovering yourself and experiencing yourself through the inner and outer world. Allow yourself to love rather than to hate. Allow yourself to witness your triggers and question them. Allow yourself to ponder why you have been so rooted in a certain vibration that only reciprocates and expresses hate, expresses worry, expresses anxiety, expresses jealousy, expresses gossip, expresses, all the negative shit. When you can be real and give yourself permission to see that and actually say, you know what? I'm deciding right now that I'm going to choose because I know I can. And you could just step into who you want to be, which is that person of love, which is that person of joy, which is that person who don't give a fuck about what anyone thinks or says about them because they rather be hated for who they are than loved for who they're not. And you want to be that person that steps into divinity, sees God and sees through the eyes of God and sees everything magical, sees everything as godlike, including money. So you guys, my deep message that God gave to me that I feel all of us as a collective need to hear is that it's time to really learn to love. It's time to forget about the hate. It's time to forget about the separation. It's time to really love. Because the reason why the world is the way that it is today is because there's been so much hatred and not enough love. The suppression of the feminine energy is now rebooting itself. Now it's taking over the masculine energy. Understand the masculine energy is the alpha. It's the one who's always in charge, always in control. we can't do that no more, because God's trying to do work in us, and we're not letting him. We're not letting God do the work. So now we got to let the omega in, the feminine energy, to allow us to see love within ourselves, with everything, because God created life through love. If we keep seeing through hate, there's no point of existing, just to be honest with you. But we're here to raise our vibration, and when we raise our vibration, we do that from love. And when we can love, you guys, oh, we all become so conscious that we help each other, and we reunite to our true nature, which is divinity. And hate can't live in divinity. So that was my message I had to share with you guys. I really hope you resonated with it, because all I do these videos is for people like you to resonate with me and to communicate with me, because this is going to be a community where we all share our story and just create unity of unconditional love. So, but if you're in a place where you really want to connect with conscious beings just like me, or ones who where you feel you want to seek your tribe, direct message me. I'll actually put an email in my email in the description. You can email me personally or direct message me on Instagram. That link will also be in the description. And contact me. I will let you in on this beautiful mastermind group where we call ourselves kings and queens. And we all just not only keep each other accountable for our business, but we really share our story. We express our spiritual awakening and our spiritual growth. And we just learn to love each other and really express that love. So if you're wanting to be a part of something like that, contact me personally. And lastly, if you actually are desiring some spiritual guidance, some tarot card readings, or even a psychic reading, same thing, there'll be a link in the bottom. Direct message me on Instagram so you can create an appointment with me, and we'll get together and we'll see what we can do for you on your spiritual journey, so you could just seek your divinity and be one with who you truly are. But until then, awakened ones, I love you, I adore you. Till the next one, just have a blissful one, and just love. And I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm not talking about trying to seek love. I'm not talking about trying to find love. I'm talking about just being that love, being that one, because when you can be one with yourself, you have mastered who you truly are. But until then, awakened ones, I'll see you on the next one. And also follow me on Instagram. Till then, with bliss and love, I adore every one of you. Namaste.